Hi everyone, my name is Maiv Mos. I'm here today to help make a Nourish recipe with one of our community food producer called Heartbeet Farms. They're 61 miles south of here, and they are like a small community farm. They focuses on like operating small scale, working with other family farms, and then really working directly with the plant and soil. And practicing sustainable practices. And so without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna make a lemon garlic sauteed cabbage with beans. Alright, so for this recipe, you can use like green cabbage or red cabbage, but for right now, currently we're carrying red cabbage, green cabbage, and heirloom tomatoes from Heartbeet Farms. So I'm just gonna go with the green. If you want a more vibrant color, you can go with red too. And for this recipe, you'll need about 10 cups of green cabbage, or that's also the same amount as like 2 pounds. And this, I measure it out, and this is 2 pounds. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this up. Some folks don't really like the core because it's kind of like, it's thicker, it's like crunchier. If you like the core, you can go ahead and add that into the recipe. I like the core, so I'm just gonna cut up the whole entire thing. And you wanna cut it in like little shreds, like pieces. And they don't have to be even size. Once you cook it down, it'll get really soft and tender, and it'll shrink. Okay, and then we can go ahead and add olive oil. I did grow up, I grew up eating a bunch of like sauteed cabbage, and growing up my parents used a lot of animal fat, so like it's really good with bacon fat or if you have any other type of fat. But for today, we're just gonna use olive oil. And then once that is going, you'll take a couple of like, garlic cloves. I like a lot of garlic, so I tend to put more than, normal, what like others would put in. But you can go crazy with the garlic if you like a lot of garlic. And this is like a really simple recipe, and it can fit for, you can feed 4 folks. And if you really want to go crazy with this recipe, you can just pretty much add anything into it. Today I'm adding butter beans, and I kind of ran out of time, so I didn't get to soak my beans, so you can just buy canned. You can put any type of beans you want, but I'm going with butter beans because it has more of a richer, silkier, smooth texture that I want with my cabbage. And you can mince your garlic really finely, or you can make it chunky. There's no right or wrong way to do it. I like mine a little bit chunky. And then one trick that I've been doing for a long time is like I save a little bit of garlic at the end, and I put it at the very end, so it gives a little bit of kind of this like raw texture of this kind of like intense tasting, which I like. But if you don't like that, you can go ahead and cook all your garlic in the beginning. And this isn't in the recipe, but I always, whenever I cook, I always have like a glass of water or a cup of water, and I just add a little bit as you go, so that the food doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan and you're not burning the food. And then now you're just gonna let it simmer and sit for a little bit until it gets a little bit of like golden brown. And then that's when we add our beans. Okay, so if you can, it's getting really cooked down. It's starting to turn a little bit brown. It's not ready yet, but at this point, you can add salt to your tasting. And then I'm gonna add the butter beans. And I already drained it. And then just a little bit more water so it doesn't burn. And then also, I'm gonna add some red pepper flakes for a little bit of a kick. And then here is when I add the remaining of the garlic pieces and chunks from earlier. And then I'm just gonna let this simmer down again for a little bit longer before I cut, you know, my lemon wedges and squeeze lemon on top of it. Okay, I already cut the lemon wedges, and I'm just gonna let this go down low and let it simmer. And then you're just gonna squeeze the lemon juice over the meal so it gets a little bit of a zest and a little bit of a freshness. If you want, you can even throw this whole lemon in there too, but you don't have to. And a Nourish tip for this recipe in particular, if you want a little bit of protein, you can cook a fried egg or two and you can have it on top. It'll be really good with like an over easy and let the yolk just run into the cabbage, into the beans. And that's like another way to make this like last longer and to make it more filling. So I think this is good. And this is it. And you can add, you know, pepper. You can add anything that you have in your cabinet to make this more flavorful if you choose to. But this is it. This is our lemon sauteed cabbage with beans.